Hi everybody, Adrian here. Well, back again. So what a fun day this is. I've just walking pretty much all around Bangalore, just trying to find a nice spot to come and sit and to actually have a live Facebook with you. And it looks like I finally found a space in the shade. So I'm going to come and sit down in the shade, and hopefully I will stay with you this time. So I'm just down here near the Oval, quite close to the A&I Hall, where I'm at the Starlight Festival in Bangalore. So I think this is opportunity number 7 or 8 where I've come on live and then I've lost you again because the reception here in Bangalore is absolutely terrible. You know, it's I don't know, they've even got a Telstra tower here, but I'm in and out. But what I want to bring in, and I shared this for those that keep jumping in and jumping off and jumping in with me, so for that I thank you, because it means you're holding space with me. But let's use this as a lesson, because what happens is when we have a vision, when we have a plan, when we want to put things into action, it's oftentimes we do get that disconnection, or we get disconnected with the vision, we get disconnected with the plan, we get disconnected with our actions, we get disconnected with self. And what happens is oftentimes when that happens 1 or 2 or 3 times, it's easy to give up. It's really easy. Hi Donna, hi Sharon. It's easy to give up when life gets in the way, when we get that disconnection. And I don't know about you, but I get it sometimes. I'm on the pathway and I'm all flying forward and everything's hunky-dory, and then suddenly something will happen, and I will get a disconnect. I'll lose connection with self, I'll lose connection with my vision. I'll let some other negative thought come in. I'll get into an old belief pattern. I'll let that sabotage pattern coming in. So many things can happen in that space. So this losing connection today, I see as a big lesson. And the question will be, where are you feeling disconnected right now? Where are you feeling disconnected? Where do you need to reconnect to your story, to your vision, to your power, to your vision of what you want to be doing in 2020? So the first thing is to do is to create the vision for yourself. How do you want to be in 2020? What's going to be different? Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in relationship, financially, creatively, vocationally, sexually, intimately. What is going to change for you? What do you want to do differently is the question. And to write down the vision. Write down the vision. What do you want to change? What do you want to bring into process? What do you want to create that's new? Or what do you want to recreate? What do you need to let go of? Getting really clear on the vision is really important. I'm just doing a 12-month program with a group of people at the moment. We started about a month ago, so we've had a couple of fortnightly sessions now, and we're just into the vision board making process. And I don't just, when I do vision boarding, it's a process. It's not a matter of just getting a board, getting pictures and sticking it on there and letting it go. When really working on a true vision board process, it's work in progress every single day almost. Getting the right images, the right words, the right phraseology, putting the pictures on the right place on the plan, and then working meditatively with each of those different visions on the vision board. So I set up a specific visioning process when I work with visioning. So we're just starting that process now, and I say to people, get really clear on the vision. Do the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. Do the holidays, do the projects, do the sporting, do the body change, do all the imagery that you want to change, all the imagery. And when you do that change, then do the plan, and then put it into action. And if you get disconnected, how are you going to get connected again is the question. What is your processes? Who is your go-to person when you get stuck? Again, I'm here to do the life mastery on here, but I also do it offline. It's what I do every day as a living. I help people. I help people with their life improvement. And I call myself the life improvement specialist. I specialize in helping people improve their lives. So the first thing you do is call Adrian, you book in for a session with Adrian, we connect, and we have a conversation around where it is in your life you need to improve. And then we visualize it, we plan it, and we put it into action. When you get stuck, that's when the coaching and the psychotherapy come into play. Because I know and you cannot do this by yourself. I've tried hundreds of times, you've probably tried hundreds of times. Sometimes there's some success, but usually it's quite limited. So let's get going in 2020. You know, get your team going, get your support going. You know, if you haven't had a conversation with Adrian yet, some of you on here have, and some of you haven't. So have a conversation with me, PM me, go to my website, book in a session, and let's get this happening. Come down to Bangalore to the Starlight Festival tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday, and come and connect with me, have a conversation with me, and let's get going. Yep. Carly, I was meant to hear this. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we're in the right place, and this is why when we have those disconnections, we keep coming back in. If I have a disconnection, you know, it's always like, you know, trial number 8 to get a good space or a good reception. But I kept going. I wasn't going to let that disconnection stop me. I kept going and going and going. And hopefully I'm in the right place now where I don't get disconnected again. If I do, I simply find another spot. I make the reconnection. Yep. So let's do that. And if you've got any questions right now, in terms of life mastery, in terms of life improvement, that you want to put forward as a question, then let me know. Type it into the type bar. Let's have some questions. Remember, I do this from a conscious place. I don't do it from a place of downloading information from the other side, from people passed on. I do this through coaching and psychotherapy and insight and experience. So this is more of a coaching psychotherapy rather than working in that other realm of bringing messages through from the other side. There's a lot of people on the show who do that on the spiritual events directory. It's not what I do on this show. It's a little bit different. But I'm here to support you, here to help you, here to guide you, here to inspire you. So it's about asking the question sometimes. Adrian, I'm stuck in this area of my life. Have you got something to support me by giving me some information, some insight, some wisdom? That I can do. That I can do. Because we all get stuck. We all get stuck. Yeah. I'm new here. Hi Cheryl. Great to have new people on here. So Cheryl, it's just for you and everybody else. If you want to ask a question, type in the question on where you want to improve your life, to get more self-mastery into your life, and get very specific on the question. Please try not to make it too generic. You know, don't ask a question like, will I be in a relationship this year? Because I won't answer it from a generic perspective, and I won't be downloading messages from spirit. It's not what I do on the show, but I can support you in getting you going with some vision, some planning and processing, and some action. Because that's what I'm good at. It's my speciality. Life improvement specialist. I help people to improve their lives. So very happy to do that. And I'm live from Bangalore. I'm at the Starlight Festival for 4 days. We have a store down here, my beautiful wife and myself and a friend called Tess. And I'm talking to people, connecting with people, getting people booked into a few different workshops. That was fantastic. It was like a 2-second blackout. I don't mind those. It's when I get the long ones. That's when I don't like them very much. I'm spiritual but can't heal myself. Okay, so Mimi, I can't heal myself. That's untrue, my friend. You can heal yourself in part, because I believe in this day and age that we need to do it collectively, because there's some parts you can heal, and I'm sure you've done that, but there's other parts where we can't see ourselves. We can't go deep enough down the rabbit hole because the fear, the doubt, the lack of self-love, the blind spots, the old stories, the old paradigms, the old demons, the old saboteurs, they get in the way. And they've had lots of practice, you know, sometimes they've had 30, 40, 50 years of practice. And being the new kid on the block, you know, trying to undo something or solve something, we're quite new in the experience, but the saboteur and the old stories, they're old. So we have to get somebody else in to see it from a different perspective, to see it a bit more objectively. And then they can help to heal that part that we can't do ourselves. So we can do a lot ourselves, but then it's turning to the professional. It's like I can do so much in my tax every year, and then I go to my tax agent. I can massage my arm and my legs a little bit, but if I want a full body massage, I go and get a massage. I can do a little bit of psychotherapy on myself, because I've got some skills, 25 years skills. But if I want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, I go to my wife, who is an amazing psychotherapist. We train together. You know, if I go to a dentist, you know, if I've got a toothache, I can put some clove oil on there, but if it's really bad, I go to the dentist. So it's the same as self-healing. We can heal certain aspects, but then we have to go to the next level. And that's often the part where people stop, because they have excuses, not enough time, not enough energy, or not enough money. But as I point out, If your car broke down tomorrow, or your washing machine broke down tomorrow, you would find the time, the energy and the money to get it fixed. You absolutely would. You'd find it somewhere. You'd go and do it. But when it comes to self, unless you have the self-love to do it, it's very hard to put in the time, the energy and the money to heal oneself. So the first question is to write a list. What do you need to heal, Mimi? What is it you need to heal? Name it. Absolutely name. What is the healing you require? Get very clear on it. Yep. Get very clear. What is it you feel like you need to heal? Is it physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, in relationship? What is it? And then when you name it, then you can visualize and go, okay, to heal this, I need to do this, this, and this. And I may need to get some support. And if I do, I'm going to phone Adrian and have a conversation with Adrian, and he will support me on the journey. And if it's not me, somebody else, and I can recommend others. But I'd love to work with you, of course. Yep. So I hope that helps, Mimi. Ads, you need to dive into that rabbit hole and face those demons. Are you saying I need to? Because it sounds like you need to is a directive, ads. Or are you going to use an I statement? Because I'm a great believer in using I statements. So rather than putting that statement out to others on the planet, I'd say, can you turn that around for yourself and say, I need to dive into that rabbit hole and face my demons. I'm all about I statements. I'm all about taking responsibility. Taking responsibility sometimes is making the I statement, claiming is what I want to do, and using the I statement, because then it actually is real. Because when we use that other language of you, we're putting it outside of ourselves. So ads, if you're keen to, can you ask yourself that question or say that statement for yourself? I need to dive, yep, into that rabbit hole and face those demons myself. That'll be my question for you. Otherwise it's just general advice to others and not actually taking responsibility to do it for oneself. So Mimi, thank you. Shaza, Happy New Year. Hi Shaza. Give me a call, Shaza. Yeah, Mimi, yeah, cleaning up the past. And oftentimes, Mimi, we can do some clearing up ourselves of the past, and sometimes it takes some body to support you. For instance, this morning we got to the Starlight Festival. Arlene had all the massage tables set up and the healing bed set up, and I felt like I just needed a bit of healing clearing. So I jumped on the massage bed with her. She got into the life alignment journey with me, and I went back to a time when I was 17 years old, in my pub drinking days, playing pool, you know, on my cider in the UK, and I had a pool ball in my hand, and my statement was, I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball sometimes. So I did a whole process on letting go of that 8 ball, moving out of that pub scene at 17 years old and coming into my present, and it helped me heal something. And I got off the table, and within 3 minutes I got a text message from somebody in the UK who I used to hang around with. Like, yeah, instantly. It was quite incredible, and it was a cleansing, it was a healing for me. So it can happen, but getting that support to clean up the past is really important. And usually, Mimi, it's a bit of psychotherapy, because we have to go into the past to clean it up, especially if it's trauma. So coaches can do a little bit, friends can do a little bit, but it's a specialized skill to work with somebody to clean up the past, particularly when there's trauma. And that's either, you know, psychology or psychotherapy. And I'm a psychotherapist, and I certainly help people in that space. I do a lot of healing the past, particularly around childhood and teenage and relationships. So very happy to chat with me. Do contact me and book in for your free 20-minute consultation with me, and then we can see if there's a rapport to do some more work together. And that's the same for everybody else. Cheryl, do our spirit guides change from birth as we need them in our lives? Absolutely, Cheryl. Look, I believe that we get, if you like, that guardian angel that's with us through life, and we make that connection, and we can have that communication and be with that guardian angel. And my experience is around about sort of the mid-30s, it tends to step back a little bit and allow us to make a few more mistakes, if you like, to do a bit more karmic learning. When we're learning it, for me, it tends to step in a little bit to save me, thank God, because I did step into some pretty precarious places in my early life. And then other beings can come in, but for me, Cheryl, it's more about which ones I choose. So beings are present all the time. Like I'm sitting here now and I'm surrounded by all the beings on different levels. You know, I've got the elements, you know, got the undines and the sylphs and all those earthly beings, and then the angelic realm, and then the archaic realm, and then the thrones and the exousiae, and all the way up to the Elohim. So there's a whole range of beings continually around us. And if you tune in and feel them and connect into them, and then you can choose which ones you want to connect with and communicate with. But just be, the word of caution there, there's also other beings that probably could lead you astray. I won't go any deeper than that. But beings that can lead you astray. So being very definitive about which energy you're tuning into. This is why when I go to healers, I always check in their credentials, what they're working with. And if I get a healer that says I just work with anything, I run. I'm serious, I run. Because you can't just work with anything, you have to define what you're working with. And if I'm working with a healer, if I'm working with somebody in the energy space, if I'm working with somebody who's a clairvoyant, I check out their credentials. I make sure that what they're bringing through is clean and clear and pure. And I make sure that they know what they're doing. That they're not on their L plates or their P plates. That they have a special license. Because when we're playing in the spiritual realm, there's different energy frequencies. It's like I wouldn't go scuba diving, and I wouldn't be trained to scuba dive with somebody who couldn't teach me properly. I wouldn't get somebody who says, "Oh, I'll teach you to scuba dive," but I don't really have a scuba diving license to teach you, because it's dangerous. It's a dangerous world there, and there are beings that can lead you astray. Yep. So just being a bit cautious on that, Cheryl. So yeah, they do change, but I would say choose them consciously and cautiously. Choose the ones you want to work with, invite them in, make a list, and then do the connection, do the meditations, and have the clarity that when they come in, it's clean energy. If you want to work with Archangel Michael, that's a mighty being. Usually it takes a few years of preparation, of initiation to work with beings of that energy, because it'll blow your circuits. Seriously, if you just tune in and go, I want Michael to walk in the room, if you haven't done the energy work and the preparation work to prepare yourself, it'll blow your circuits. And there are people in the psych units and on medications that have spiritual experiences because they're not prepared. So start small. Tune into the undines and the sylphs and get used to energy, and then move on to your guardian angel and the angels, and then slowly over years of preparation go into the deeper levels or the higher levels, because it takes practice. I'm not trying to scare you away, I just want you to be cautious, because I don't want you to blow your circuits. Hope that helps. PX Surat, your cross, I have no idea what that means. You're looking for that, that's not a cross, it's an eagle. But if you're saying I'm a cross, I don't know where you get that from. So I'm not quite sure what that statement is there, PX, your cross. Adds, hi, no sorry to the person you were addressing. Okay, yeah, so adds, just commenting on your own comments of what you need. Leave the teaching to me today. You're very welcome to have your own show, but just it's nice to have the positive comments, but if you have something for yourself, this is what this show is about. Positive comments are great, saying well done, but not giving advice from your perspective, because with all due respect, this is my show and this is about Adrian giving insights, because if I let everybody bring in their insights and teachings, it wouldn't be my show. So you're welcome to go and talk to Sarah and put in the time and energy for your show to ads as well. So with no disrespect, but that's how it is on this show. So Piat mates, Paula, I'm full of trauma, I just want to die. So Paula, let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment, because that's a powerful statement, and I want to take the sincerity of that comment, and I just firstly want to check in that you're okay. So Paula, whether it's me or somebody else, I want you to call somebody. Either now, come off now and go and call somebody, or after the show, call somebody, and just tune in and check in with them. Because I don't know quite how serious you are about the death thing here. But as soon as I see that I want to die, the question is, do you really mean I want to, end this life, or do you mean part of you wants to die because you're not satisfied? Yeah, because life is full of trauma sometimes. But my question to you, Paula, is what are you doing about it? And if you've done a little bit, what can you do more? If you've done a medium amount, can you do more? If you've done lots, can you do more? Because when we're dealing with trauma, it's all about doing more. It's all about doing more. Because life can be very traumatic. I've had trauma in my life, and I still deal with some of that trauma. And I go down the rabbit hole a bit more with that trauma. And I uncover a bit more trauma. And then I uncover a bit more trauma. then I go and find a different therapist who can take me down the rabbit hole a little bit further. So Paula, my question to you and my statement to you, go and check in with somebody, you know, go and have a connection, a cup of tea, a hug. You know, if you need to, you know, find your practitioner, the person you work with, usually a spiritual counselor, a spiritual teacher. If you haven't got one, please find one. And then find out what is the trauma, name the trauma, name the traumas, and then make a choice of how you're going to go and deal with them. Who do you need to go and talk to? Seek out a good therapist. Yeah, seek out a good therapist. If you want to contact me, Paula, do so. Been in the game for 20 years. I've worked with hundreds of people. There's not many places I can't go. And just to give you some background on that, my early training when I was doing my psychotherapy training, you know, nearly 20 years ago now, probably 17 years ago, a lot of my training was in an orphanage in South Africa, working with traumatized children. And I won't even go into the stories of what some of those children were traumatized around. It was pretty horrific, pretty horrific. Lots of abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, family abuse. And I did my early days of my training in that space, so there's not many places I can't go to down the rabbit hole, because I've probably seen the worst humanity can deal with people. So I'm very happy to support you in that space. Hope that helps, Paula. Please go and check in with somebody. Yeah, find a friend, call a friend. Yep. Really, sincerely go and do that. So Piak, Rice, not even sure what you're meaning here. Do you change them by asking? Yeah, Cheryl, absolutely. So make a choice, you know, what energy frequency do you want to work with? For instance, if you want to get into some healing energy, you might say, well, what are the healing beings out there? You know, the Raphael energy, tuning into that healing energy. If you want inspiration, who are the inspirational beings out there? So looking at who you want to be inspired by. Are they beings of the greater order? Or they may be, you know, beings that have passed on. You know, Mandela, Mother Teresa, you know, they're beings now, you know, they've moved on, so you can connect to their spirits. Yeah? So really tuning into that space. Okay, really tuning into that space. So you can choose them, and usually I do that through meditation. And I have a process I use. This is a decision-making process. And I share this with a group working with individuals when we're in the decision making, particularly in the mastermind group things I work with. And that's, you make a list of all the beings you work with, and then you connect with them and talk to them and ask questions to them about your where you're stuck in life, where you need some support in life, or your challenge or your issue, and you use them as a mastermind group almost, and you get the inspiration and information from them. So I use that. I've been doing that for a long time, and I teach people to use the connection to their beings to help them in that space. Yeah, those nasty things can sneak in. I always shield myself. Yeah. So Cheryl, I say to people, if you're going to be in the spiritual world, you're going to be downloading and working with spirit. Really simple for me. No alcohol, no drugs. That's medicated or non-medicated. No recreational. Being clear, putting up the boundaries, making sure that you have a grilling system of what's coming in and what's not coming in, and being really clear, defining what's coming in, be discerning. And that takes a lot of practice, because as you say, you know, they sneak in, they're sneaky little buggers, and they do creep in. I've had some pretty nasty experiences myself where I haven't been fully present and I haven't had my guardian up. Because when we do, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. What happens when people come into the spiritual world, or you know, the spiritual development space, and they suddenly have an awakening, or they feel like they want to do something? The first place they usually visit and experience is what I call the astral world. And that's when people have colours and they hear things and they see things, they see sparkles, and they might see angel beings and colours and rainbows and all that stuff. That's the astral world, it's not the spiritual world. And unfortunately, a lot of spiritual teachers who haven't done the work themselves teach in the astral world thinking it's spiritual, and that's quite dangerous. Because if you're going to transit and start spiritual work, you have to do the preparation work. And preparation work is not days, it's not weeks, it's not months, it's years. Several years of preparation work before you're ready to cross over the threshold into the spiritual world to meet the spiritual beings. And you have to go through particular gateways and through particular guardians of the threshold. And if you haven't done the guardian of the threshold work to work your way through the guardians that are there to protect us, then you're not in the spiritual world. So usually if I'm talking to somebody and they say I'm spiritual, I've done, I say, let's have a conversation about what you experienced to go through the gateways with the guardians of the threshold. And if they can't tell me that story, I know they're not in the spiritual world, they're still stuck in the astral world. It's like a litmus test for me. It's a litmus test. Because when I'm working with somebody, I need to know they're true. I need to know they've done the work. And sadly, it's not because they're trying to be charlatans or they're trying to do the wrong thing. It's just they don't know because their teacher didn't teach them the right thing either. So it becomes a bit of what I call the astral lineage. So to find the spiritual teacher, it's the teachers that have done the work for a certain amount of years in preparation and then met the guardians and done the spiritual work. You know, I sort of just want to give you that clarity. So Cheryl, you know, start now, do the preparation work and prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, do the work. I don't know how long you've been doing this work for, but it might be more preparation. It sounds like it probably is if you're still in that space. So a bit more preparation. Who's your teacher? Find the spiritual teacher. So when you go for a driving lesson, you get a teacher. When you go scuba diving, you get a teacher. When you go and do a new language, you get a teacher. Spiritual world's no different. The work is no different. Hope that helps, Cheryl. Paula, please can you help me? I don't want to be here, but don't want to be heard. Okay, so Paula, yeah, I can. Please, after this, Paula, go onto my Facebook page, Adrian Hanks, PM me. We'll have a conversation. If you can get down to the Starlight Festival, Paula, I don't know where you live, but if you can get down to Bangalow over the next 3 days, come and visit me, and we'll sit and we'll talk. Yeah, we'll sit and we'll talk, but otherwise we can do a phone conversation. Very, very, very want to help you. I want to be with you. I want to sit with you. I want to talk to you. So I want to find what that thing is that's going to keep you here and get you here and bring to the planet what you're here to do. Because it sounds like you're a bit stuck in knowing what you want to do. So we have to find that space. What do you need to be doing here? What's your passion here? Find that and you'll be okay. And I can certainly help you in that. Let's do some healing with you. You know, come and talk to my beautiful wife and have some healing with her as well. So if you can, even if it's a 2 or 3 hour drive, I don't care. Just do it. You know, make up your mind to do it, Paula. You know, if you're obviously you're in Sydney or somewhere, it's different. But if you're on the Gold Coast or even in Brizzy or somewhere, you know, drive down. Drive down. I drove down from the Gold Coast this morning. It took me 1 hour and 10 minutes. Down to Bangalow near Byron Valley. Come to the Starlight Festival and soak up some healing energy. And come and see Adrian and Arlene. Okay? Hey, Cheryl. I don't have no end, and all I think of is to die day and night. Okay, so Paula, if you don't have anybody, you're going to come and see me. You're going to make an effort to come to Bangalow, or you're going to phone me. Okay? Like, no, I'm not mucking around here. You're going to do that. Call me, phone me, contact me. We'll come to Bangalow tomorrow. Mika, it's night still. Okay. Yeah, some places in the planet are still nighttime, particularly United States and Europe and places. Early morning over in Europe. Here in Australia, I'm in New South Wales, and it's 5 to 2 here. So you know, a few more minutes on here for me, another 5 minutes or so. And then I'm out of here, and apologies for the breakups earlier on, but it was that story, you know, disconnect, 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 find a place, reconnect, disconnect, disconnect, find a place, reconnect. So I'm asking you to do the same. Whatever you need to do to reconnect, make the effort to do it. Don't give up. Connect with me, okay? And Piak, with all due respect, if you can just stop typing just one word. If you have something useful to say, then please say that, and I'm happy to engage. But really, I don't know what your game is here, so I'd rather you didn't do that, just with all due respect. I'll have a bit of respect for me and the show, okay? So I'm really asking you to do that. A little bit of respect, please, my friend, because this is a bit getting a bit silly now with all your little comments on here. So if you have something useful to say, say it. Otherwise, please stop wasting my time and my energy, and also your time and energy. It doesn't actually help anybody. So I'm not quite sure your game is. Maybe you need to have a therapy session around it, and I'll be very happy for you to book in and have a therapy session with me around whatever your game is, okay? Because I'm not really appreciative right now of the silliness that you're doing on my show, okay? So and if that continues, I will simply get Sarah, and I will actually unfortunately have to block you because it's getting a bit silly. So I don't like doing that, but please take some self-responsibility around that space for yourself. I say if you need some therapy around it, I can certainly do some. So look, there's a few moments left on the show, so if you have anything to say, any last minute question, then pop in and have a question. And if you can get down to the Starlight Festival in Bangalow over the next few days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then please come down and visit. I'm actually outside, so as soon as you pay to come in, I'm on the right hand side down the steps, and you can come down. I've got my didgeridoos down there, I've got some pendulums down there, got a few other things going on. Arlene's giving some healing sessions as well, and there's some great talks and workshops down here over the next few days. I think Brandon Bays is down here. There's a few other people down here, some old connections I haven't seen for quite a while, and it's really just a nice place to hang out. There's a good cafe down here, good food, and just a nice space to come and meet new people and connect up. I've also got I've got Sarah's book down here too. Sarah, I've got 7 boxes of books that I'm giving. I think I've already given away a box full already today. So the new directory booklet, there's got if you haven't got that yet, then get your booklet as well from Sarah. Just order one. Got lots of good advertising in there and lots of good stories in there, and I'm certainly giving those away to as many people as possible. And just another couple of things, just while I'm tuning out here, for those listening in, you might want to read this. So in August, I'm taking a group of people to Africa, and a slight change of format. You can go for 12 days or 21. 12 days is just in South Africa, and the extra 9 days is in Botswana and Namibia. It's for 8 people only. I've got a few people already interested, so it will go quite quickly. So if you're interested in going to Africa on a spiritual journey with me over 12 days or 21 days, you can also tune into that. And you can go to the website. It's on here, and it's www.spiritofafricajourney.com, and you can tune into that as well. And the other thing, if you're in a financial space and you want to improve your finances, I would suggest something else. This is something else I'm doing at the show here. Holding it up, your free gift. You can get some free crypto units that are going to have an incredible value over the next few months or years. And I'm giving away 200 free units when you sign up to the new economic evolution of the world. So you just need to connect up, go to the website www.neewcommunity.com, sign up for free, get 200 free crypto units in your wallet, and the potential value of those later on can be quite incredible for you. So if you want to do that as well. So there's lots of things: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, financial, educational, and I can totally help you in any of those realms. So Piat, enough is enough now. Whatever you're doing, please stop. It's just getting really, really silly, mate. So or female, I'm not quite sure whether you're male or female, but please stop. Have some respect, mate. This is getting really silly now. I'm not appreciating this at all. Love and blessings and namaste to you. And it looks like I'll have to block you, and I'm going to ask Sarah to block you, so you won't be on the show anymore, which is a real shame, because you can probably have a lot to learn in terms of personal and spiritual development, and it looks like you have a lot to learn, my friend. So love and blessings and namaste to you, but please refrain from it. It's getting really silly. So for everybody else that had some respect and are here in love, and I want to send you some abundance, some love, some healing for 2020, please do connect. Let's see if we can do something together. Lots going on this year. There's lots of new things happening. There's a few courses, some public speaking courses, there's some healing courses, there's some online programs. So go to adrianhanks.com, check out the website and see if there's something for you. I'm going to jump back into the space in the hall, back into that healing space, the A&I Hall for the Starlight Festival here in Bangalow. So if you want to come in and connect up down here, drive down, bring a car load of friends and come and have some fun. Blessings, 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 and namaste to you. See you. Bye bye. Yeah, Lorraine, I certainly will be. See you. Bye bye.